Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Michael is up first in Wilmington, North Carolina. Michael, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, y'all. Thanks for having me. I've been listening to y'all for a few years now and just looking for some advice.
Cool.
My wife and I bought a house together in 2022, and she recently decided that she wanted to divorce and that she's going to be moving out next week.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate it. Me too. And so I know a bunch of my friends and family have said that, the only way to be able to take the loan over would be to refinance. And I found out through our mortgage company that they do have assumption of the loan process. And I was just curious which way might be best for me to go. That way I could get the mortgage and everything solely in my name.
Yeah, well, that's great that your lender has those options. A lot of them, the only way to do it is refinance. But again, it's always worth asking your lender to see if they can do a loan modification or the loan assumption. And it sounds like, have you looked into the terms of that? It sounds like it'll be the cheaper route for you to do a loan assumption if you can afford it and take on that risk on your own.
Sure. They literally just sent over the email today. I'm at work, so I kind of went through it a little bit. And just even the numbers from that, like you said, it can be kind of pricey. And so I wasn't quite sure what the refinance is. We haven't touched any of the equity in it or anything. So that's part of the reason why I was hoping that, before I found out about their assumption details, might have been able to refinance and maybe use that equity for the stuff to refinance it. But when
what is she owed in this deal?
What?
Have you guys gone through the process?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask. Are there lawyers?
Is she going to get a piece of this home and the equity?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not. It's not like I'm trying to. It's not like I'm trying to do all this like behind her back or shady. I'm just trying and I guess figure out the best option for me, because I want to stay in the house. My father is just been put on hospice and he lives with me.
Well,
so I'm trying to keep the house.
I just want to know if you guys, did you guys say, hey, we're just going to figure this out ourselves, or are there any lawyers involved that are saying and kind of mediating this for you and saying, okay, here's the deal, here's what it's going to be. I just don't want you to get ahead of yourself and this not be the terms of the actual divorce.
If you go through all this and then it turns out you have to sell the house or do a cash-out refinance to pay her portion anyways, and so now you've got two refinances. So that we're just trying to make sure you know what the next steps are before you make a big financial move like this.
Sure. No, we have not gone through anything just yet as far as lawyers or any type of agreement. I've been trying to work with her as far as some type of agreement. But
how long were you married?
The end of February will be 2 years.
Okay. So depending on the judge is who's going to decide what's fair and equitable here. And so there may be a situation where he goes, listen, you guys weren't married enough to split this half and half. Here's what she gets. Here's what you get. You get to keep the house. Mm-hmm. Who knows how it's going to shake down. But I would absolutely work with an attorney, even if it's one in just mediation between you two, to get all this down on paper before we make a decision on what's next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely don't pull the trigger on any of this yet.
Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I just wasn't sure if regardless of however certain ways went about, if there was a better way to handle it, if I was able to assume, or if refinancing was the better option.
How much equity do you have in the house?
I'm not sure, honestly. Normally I was the one just out working and putting the money in the accounts, and I let her handle paying it.
Have you guys separated bank accounts yet?
Not. Well, we have one joint account, and we had one for the house, and then we each had our own individual.
Okay. I would separate finances to keep things clean right now.
Okay.
And it sounds like you're going to be paying the mortgage on your own.
Yes. Well, I have been. And
how much is the mortgage compared to your take-home pay?
The mortgage is $1,750 a month, and I bring home, give or take, for a month,
Oof.
Wow, that's tight like a tiger.
So it's almost
It
half
is.
your income going
Yeah.
towards this. And so here's the
Oh,
thing:
yeah.
if let's say she gets a portion of the equity and you have to do a cash out refinance,
Yeah.
well,
That's
that's going to make your
terrible.
mortgage payment go up. And so I
Okay.
don't know that you're going to be able to stay in this house based on how much equity you have and what this new mortgage will be.
I mean, you already kind of can't, even if that weren't a factor.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I like I said, I've been the one who's been paying for the house ever since we moved in. I work a full time, and I try and pick up some side jobs here and there to.
But that was with
make
her
sure that
income
we've
too,
got
right?
everything.
Was she contributing financially?
No, not to the house.
So you guys were just really scraping by
No, I
then with
tried-
this.
Well, what I tried to do was I tried to be the one that went out and worked to cover the bills, so that way she could stay home and focus on the baby and focus on school and not have to work.
You
So
guys
when
have
you
One
go-
kid together?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we just had a son 7 months ago.
Oh, my
I'm sorry.
goodness.
So when you go out and work, you said, you kind of close that gap. When you go out and do other jobs, what type of jobs are you doing and what are you bringing home in addition to your $4,000 a month?
Well, it's not consistent, but I go out and I do mechanical services on the side.
Mhm.
So I could bring in anywhere from, I don't know, an extra grand to extra $3,000 a month.
Here's where I'm at. Listening to what you're saying and kind of what it's been and what you're bringing in and the consistency or inconsistency of it all. With what George is saying, as it is, I think that your mortgage was already too high, assuming she wasn't contributing much financially there. And then, like George said, if you do this cash out refi, it is going to cause your monthly payment to go up. I don't think that you can handle that. You're going to sit and you're going to talk with a lawyer and you guys are going to figure this out. But if it were me, I'd probably try to walk away from this a clean break and get into something that you can afford monthly. That's 25% of your take home and is not contingent. One thing you don't want to do, and this is not just for you, but anybody, you don't want to have to side hustle to pay your mortgage. If you're side hustling to make sure that you can afford your mortgage payment, something's wrong and you're out of balance.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah, side hustling is to do extra things like pay off debt and save for things, not to make sure you can clear your mortgage.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.